Hello my friends and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how Holes should have had a video game. Oh, it is about time. I have been thinking about this for a while now and I'm pretty excited, so thanks for being here. It is a wonderful movie that came out in about 2003, 2004 if I remember right. We had Shia LaBeouf here. It's free on YouTube with ads if you want to check that out, but it's about a boy named Stanley Yelnats IV who gets wrongly sentenced to 18 months Camp Greenlake, which is a forced labor camp where boys are told to dig holes all day to build character. But, spoiler alert, secretly, the warden is looking for some buried treasure that her great-great-granddaddy misplaced. And it kind of weaves like 3 or 4 storylines together, so you get a full picture of kind of what's going on. It's really well written. It's so good. Oh, and there's a sequel. It never got a video game, and I feel like a lot of the early 2000s movies got video games, so I don't know, like what happened? Talk about story? Boom! 4 of them. Talk about characters? Tons of them. Location? Camp Greenlake? Iconic. And, of course, the memes are everywhere. This movie just is so near and dear to my heart because of all the quotes that I get to share with my wife and with my family. It's very quotable. By the way, if this is your kind of thing, you might want to check out a video we did about the next Legend of Zelda movie and or the next Legend of Zelda video game, if you kind of like these kind of blue sky concepts. Also, if K-Pop Demon Hunters was a video game. So, what would the gameplay look like? Well, I've got like 5 ideas, so like help me narrow this down because I'm still kind of cooking them and I need a taste tester. First off, with such a dynamic story, you need to encompass all of the plot lines. There's probably 4 or 5 of them actually. There's a modern, there's Stanley, there's a couple in the past. But I think one game that does that very beautifully is this one right here. It is called Detriot Become Human, or as Jacksepticeye would say, Detriot Become Humain. And it follows 3 androids that are going through this futuristic dystopian thing, trying to argue for android rights and your choices matter, and there's some murder and some mystery going on, kind of ethical stuff. Anyway, I think that would be a really cool way to present a lot of these storylines, moving through everything that's going on in the past, the present, and different angles of the present. So I think your gameplay options would kind of follow this story, this narrative. You could change the future a little bit. This game as a base would be a good one to kind of explore the Holes narratives that go on. You could have one that follows Kissing Kate Barlow, one that follows Madame Zeroni and the Yelnats family there. You could have one that follows Stanley's family back home. You could have one that follows Stanley, people in the camp. A little bit of drama here and there. You could get to know or make enemies with the camp mates. I don't know, I think it'd be fun. The next game that I think could follow a similar model is like the Until Dawn, or like the Man of Medan games. These typically take a group of survivors and they put them in like quick time events or like decision-based narrative games that typically have like a horror element to them. Horror element to them. But I think if you had it for a Holes type setting, it would be a little less horror. You could still do a little bit of survival in the case of like you get to stay at Camp Greenlake, or you just go right to jail. Right to jail. If you get caught, or you could be chased by yellow spotted lizards or crash cars, and it would kind of make, this is the classic like, oh, they'll remember that. And this one wouldn't follow Stanley so much as it would a tent in Camp Greenlake. So you got a group of 4 to 8, I guess, like boys, and maybe you're trying to escape, perform a little heist. And so if you play your cards right, you could persuade some guards, let you, sneak past them. You could get resources, quick time events like dodge holes, or fail and wind up in a hole. You don't get the water truck to escape. A different route, if you don't want something so serious, is more of a cozy kind of sim. This game is Wildermender. It's a cozy sim kind of game. It takes place in deserts. You gather resources, you kind of affect the environment. If you had a game styled like this that takes place after the events of Holes, they say that the camp becomes a Girl Scout camp. It could be fun to do something like this and have like a character running around Camp Greenlake, which is actually now a fun lake and not like a terrible prison, and have them plant onion farms and build the camp, maybe even like magically bring back the lake. Maybe there's some witches involved, a little culty action, little rain dances. Just kidding. But maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Something like this would be really cute and really fun. The idea of like cozy farming some onions. in this style. And you could also have like a top down, like you could plan the camp and like, oh, put new tents over here and like activity halls over there, and kind of run the whole camp as a nice warden, or, you know, a nice camp counselor, I guess it would be. So I'm not one for cozy games, but I would play that one. On a more serious note, this is Prison Simulator. I thought you played as a prisoner and you had to sneak out, but that might be Prison Break Simulator. I don't know. So this one could be kind of fun if you were a guard at Camp Greenlake and you wanted to keep the inmates in, and or switch, you could be a prisoner trying to escape. Once again, you would kind of do day in the life of these prisoners. Kind of mix this with a game about digging a hole, where you would actually go and dig holes. Pretty basic, you know, you got a shovel, you're trying to dig a hole, you could upgrade your shovel, you see about digging more holes each day, grabbing resources, returning them back. Like, this game would be a base, not the whole game. You would mix this with the Prison Simulator and have the ability to progress in jail before you are out. This one's the one that's not so fleshed out, but yeah. I don't know, this is a bit of a long shot, but could be fun still. And of course, you know, early 2000s tie-ins always seem to have a Game Boy Advance version, or, you know, PlayStation Portable, PSP, whatever. And so I think we'd get more of this, like a side-scrolling adventure. You'd have a shovel, not a whip. You would fight yellow-spotted lizards and rattlesnakes, maybe a couple guards here and there. These kind of Castlevania ones, platformers, scroller ones would be fun. I just like them. I could see this just being like an inmate, just not really related to the movie or the book at all, just like a cash grab. But a fun one. You could also mix it with like these. This is a Harry Potter game way back in the day that I had on the Game Boy Color. So, whoa, shout out! Just like another game tied into a movie. I had like turn-based strategy kind of stuff, RPG elements. Could be fun to like explore Camp Greenlake in this top-down format with random encounters to find like rattlesnakes and stuff like that. Or boss fight the warden. I think that Holes deserves a video game. Still, to this day, we have lots of options out there. Games have only gotten better over time, like game mechanics that we can use now that maybe weren't so popular back in the day. And by doing that, we could bring this back to life one more time, because it's great. It is timeless. Let me know what kind of video games you would make out of this. Let me know what you thought about my ideas. Just appreciate you being here. We are just growing this cute little channel, and we love all the help we can get. So if you don't mind sharing this, liking, subscribing, all that good news would be great. And let me know if you think Holes should be a video game. Thank you very much. Catch you next one. Bye. He's got nothing going on in his stupid little head. What does D-I-G spell? What happened to your face? I think I'm kind of pretty, don't you? Granddad, I'm tired of this. What's too dang bad? I saw that car and I was like, whoo, whoo, whoo. I think he's a mole. I think he eats the dirt. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Yo, my name's not Theodore. He's on. Classic. Once upon a time, there was a magic land where it never rained. The end.